Good morning, children. So, student, let's start with the other form of organization today in this video, and that will be cooperative society. Student, in the beginning of this chapter, we have gone through with sole proprietorship form of organization, where a single person is the one who is handling everything. The second was HUF, that was Hindu undivided family, where there was a single family business and the eldest member of the family was running the business with unlimited liabilities. Third form of business organization, we have read partnership, where two or more than two people are coming together, sharing the profit and losses of business after doing their investment. And today we will go through with the next form of business organization, and that is cooperative society. Now children, let's start what is cooperative society. So student, the word cooperative society, will start with the word cooperative. The word cooperative means working together and with other for a common purpose. It means cooperative society is basically working together, and all these persons who are working together, they have a same objective. That is the reason we called it common purpose. Now see what common purpose. So the cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons who join together to protect, promote their common economic interest or welfare of member. So it means a cooperative society is basically voluntary association. Voluntary association means where the people are willingly coming and joining, right? And when they join, they all have a same objective or same motive, and that motive is the welfare of the member of this cooperative society. Now, cooperative society is compulsory required to register under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. Like children, in partnership form of organization, I have explained you that the registration is not compulsion. It is completely a choice of a partner that whether they want to register their firm or not. But student, in cooperative society, it's compulsory that if any person or when any cooperative society has to be started, first the registration of the society has to be done. This is compulsory, and this registration of cooperative society will be done under the Act of Cooperative Society Act 1912. Now that is one thing, that is about compulsion of registration. And the second thing is that whenever any cooperative society will be started, at least 10 adult persons are required to start the cooperative society, who will join the cooperative society as a member willingly, and they will for protect and promoting the economic interest or welfare of these all members. Now how they are protecting or promoting the economic interest? By removing middlemen from the society, right? So the definition should be clear to you that cooperative society is a willingly or voluntary association of person who come together or who join together with the motive of welfare of all the members. Now this cooperative society is run under the Act of Cooperative Society Act 1912. Whenever any cooperative society will be started, at least 10 adult persons are required to start the cooperative society as a form of member. So this is all about cooperative society. Now we will start the features of cooperative society. Now see, the first feature of cooperative society is voluntary association. As I have already explained you that the membership of cooperative society is voluntary. It means the people, those who are going to work in the cooperative society, they willingly join this. They willingly take the membership of the cooperative society. A person is free to join a cooperative society and can also leave any time as per his desire. There cannot be any compulsion for him to join or quit a society. It means it's completely a choice of a member when they want to join cooperative society, and whenever they want to exit, they can exit also. So there is no compulsion for the member to be there in the cooperative society part for a long period of time. Now, the next feature of cooperative society is legal status. Now, when we talk about cooperative society, I have explained you children that it's necessary for cooperative society to register itself under Cooperative Society Act 1912. That is the reason we call it have a legal status, because registration of a cooperative society is compulsory, and this accord a separate identity to the society which is distinct from its member. Now, once the cooperative society has been registered, the member of the society will have a separate legal identity, and the cooperative society will have a separate legal identity in front of law. That is the reason we call it have a legal status. Next feature said limited liability. Now, the liability of the member of cooperative society is limited to the extent of the amount contributed by them as capital. This defines the maximum risk that a member can be asked to bear. It means if there is any issue of losses occurred, or if the member has to repay debt to outside the people, then what are their liabilities? So in this case, the cooperative society member have limited liabilities, and this limited liability basically means the liabilities are limited to the amount of their investment or the amount of their capital contribution done in the society. It means those who have done more amount of contribution, they will have a chances of more profit also, and they will have a chances of more losses also. So liabilities limit according to their capital contribution. That is the reason we call liabilities are limited here. The next feature of cooperative society is democratic control. Now, why democratic control? Because management and control lies with the managing committee elected by the member by giving vote. Every member has one vote irrespective of number of the shares held by him. Now student, when we talk about the control here, the cooperative society work in a principle of democratic control. Democratic control basically say that in cooperative society, the power to take decision lies in the hand of elected managing committee. So there is a managing committee who used to take decision over there. But the question arises here is that how this managing committee is formed. Now children, because cooperative society followed a principle of one member one vote, so every member used to give one vote for selecting the committee, and from the committee the main head or the member of managing committee, they used to take all the decision on behalf of member of the cooperative society. That is the reason we call it democratic control, because the member are selected, the managing committee member are selected from the member of cooperative society only by the principle of one person or one vote. The next feature said service motive. The next feature, service motive, basically said that what was the main reason to start or to form a cooperative society was to provide services. Now the cooperative society through its purposely emphasizes on the value of mutual help and welfare. The motive of service dominate its working. If any surplus is generated as a result of its operation, it is distributed among the member as the form of dividend in with the law of the society. It means the main motive to start a cooperative society is not to maximize the profit, but its main motive was to provide services to the members. Services basically means to have the welfare of the member whenever they are required. Now children, the next will be your bound by government rule. This feature say that because cooperative society, it is compulsory to register itself, and government used to give lots of facility to the cooperative society, so they have to tie by the rules and regulation framed by the government. It means the cooperative society are bounded with the government. They have to follow certain rules and regulation which government had made for them. Now next is distribution of surplus. Distribution of surplus basically said that if there is any profit in the cooperative society, how this surplus will be distributed. So the profit is distributed on the basis of volume of business transacted by a member and not on the basis of capital contribution of the member. It means the distribution of surplus will be not done on the form of capital contribution. It will be done how much transaction of business has been done from a member. Now this is all about the features of cooperative society, and now we will go through with the advantage of cooperative society form of organization. So let's start the advantage here, children. And the first advantage is that easy of formation. Easy of formation basically say that it's easy to start a cooperative society form of organization. Now how? The cooperative society can be started with minimum of 10 members. The registered procedure is simple. It involves a few legal formalities. It is formation of government, the provision of Cooperative Society Act 1912. It means when any person want to start a cooperative society, it's very easy to start it, it's very easy to formate it, and that easy formation become the advantage of cooperative society. Now what are the things required to start a cooperative society is basically minimum 10 members who willingly want to join it, and the registration under the Cooperative Society Act 1912. Even during the time of registration, children, it took very less legal procedure or formalities. So this become the advantage of cooperative society, that easily any 10 members can join together, and with a few legal formalities they can start cooperative society after registering inside Cooperative Society Act 1912. Now the next advantage said limited liabilities. Now this is the another advantage of cooperative society, that the liabilities of cooperative societies member are limited. Now how limited? Because the liability of member of a cooperative society is limited to the extent of their capital contribution. The personal assets of the member are therefore safe from being used to repay business debts. Now children, I have explained you beginning also that when we talk about liabilities, it is in term of limited, or sometime it is we used to have unlimited liabilities. When we talk about unlimited liabilities, means unlimited liabilities are all those liabilities in which if any debts are there for the business which business has to repay, and from business assets we are not able to repay that, so the personal assets of the member or the partner or the owner has to be sold also. But in case of cooperative society, the liabilities of the member of cooperative society are limited to the extent of their capital contribution. It means जिसने जितना कैपिटल कंट्रीब्यूट किया है उसकी लाइबिलिटी उसी रेशियो में डिसाइड होएगी. सो द पर्सनल एसेट डज नॉट हैव टू बी सोल्ड इन केस बिजनेस हैज़ टू रिपे द डेब्ट्स टू आउटसाइडर. नाउ नेक्स्ट एडवांटेज इज स्टेबल एग्जिस्टेंस. स्टेबल एग्जिस्टेंस से दैट ड्यू टू डेथ, bankruptcy or insanity of the member do not affect continuity of a cooperative society. A society therefore operates unaffected by any change in the membership. It means in case there are any uncertainty occurred with the member of cooperative society, it can be death, luxury, it can be insolvency, or it can be any another thing. Because the cooperative society is already registered inside Cooperative Society Act, which give it a separate identity in the eye of law. So in case the partner has a death or they have exit from the society will still continue. So that is the reason we call it have a stable existence. Next is economy in operation. This is the another advantage of cooperative society, that the member generally offer honorary services to the society, as the focus is on elimination of middlemen. This helped in reducing cost. The customer or the producer themselves are member of the society, hence the risk of debt is lower. Now children, economy in operation said that the advantage cooperative society give its member is that the operations are done there in an economical way. It means in a with a less expenditures. How? Because the main motive of cooperative society was to provide advantage or benefit to the member of the cooperative society, and this they do by removing the middlemen from the market or from the society. Like, so if a producer is a member of a society, then they directly sold its good to the member of the society with a less cost, right? So in this way, what is happening? The operation or the cost of a particular product which a member has to face, that is less. That is the reason we call the operation of the cooperative society are economical, because they are eliminating or removing the middlemen from the society. Next is government support. This is the another advantage of the cooperative society, that is government provides support by giving loans at lower interest rate and subsidies by charging less taxes. Now cooperative society are always given a run by a principle of democracy, so it finds support from government also. Government used to provide a different type of supports to the cooperative society by providing less taxes, by giving subsidies, by providing low interest rate also during the time when they took loan. Now the next is social utility. Now because cooperative society is basically working for the benefit of the member in the society, so it promote personal liberty, social justice and mutual cooperation. They help to prevent concentration of economic power in few hands. Now what is basically happening in the cooperative society? Minimum 10 people, or maximum it can be more than 10 also. They are coming together, they are contributing their capital according to their condition, and then they are working together in a mutual and cooperation way. So in this way, what is happening? They are trying to prevent concentration of economic power in few hands by providing benefit to all the member of the society. Now the next is equality in voting status. Now this principle is very important principle. It say that the cooperative society give one of the very important advantages, that all the member of the cooperative society have equal right of voting. It means the principle of one man, one vote govern the cooperative society. Irrespective of the amount of capital contribution by a member, each member is initiated to equal voting right. It means no matter how much contribution of capital has been done in the cooperative society by a particular person, but the voting right is equal to each and everyone. There is a principle of one man, one vote. So children, this is all about the advantage which we got from cooperative society, and now we will be going through with certain limitation also. It means the certain drawback of cooperative society also. The first is limited resources or capital. Now this is the drawback here, or the disadvantage of cooperative society, that the resources of cooperative society consist of contribution of member in a limited means. The low rate of dividend offer on investment also act as a deterrent in attracting membership, more capital from the member. Now student, this limitation said that earlier only we have discussed that the main objective of cooperative society is not to provide or not to maximize the profit, but its main objective is to the welfare of the member of the society. So just due to this, the contribution which is done from the member side is not a big amount. They used to do the contribution or capital in a limited manner only. So sometimes the cooperative society suffer from the shortage of capital, as it is usually formed by the people with limited means. Now next is inefficient management. Now this is the another drawback which cooperative society has to face, and this inefficient management said that cooperative society are unable to attract and employ expert management because of their inability to pay the high salaries. The member who are working there are generally not professional to handle the management function effectively. It means inefficient management said that because the cooperative society is managed by elected member or the selected member who may not be competent and experienced. Moreover, it can afford to employ expert and experienced people at high salary. It means because the resources are limited, the capital resources are limited in the cooperative society. Because of that, they used to manage, this society used to manage from the cooperative society member only, which is selected after one man one vote principle. So it might be possible that the person who is running the cooperative society is not experienced and not expert in that particular way, and even the cooperative society is also not able to appoint the expert employee there, because if they are appointing an expert employee or experienced employee for managing the things, they have to pay a high salary, which will affect their capital, which they already have in a limited manner. That is the reason the inefficient management is there in cooperative society. Now next is lack of motivation. Now members are not inclined to put their best efforts, as there is no direct link between efforts and reward. Now this is the another disadvantage of cooperative society, that the members are not have that much of motivation by which they put their best efforts, as they know that there is no direct link between the efforts and reward, that whenever there will be any profit occur, that will be distributed. So they know that whether they work more better than other person, the profit are going to be distributed among them according to the law which has been already decided. So that amount of motivation is not there within the member of cooperative society. Next is lack of secrecy. Lack of secrecy basically said that as the result of open discussion, whenever we have a cooperative society, there is always an open discussion occurred, and because of this result of open discussion in the meeting, member as well as it disclose obligation as per the societies. So it is very difficult to maintain secrecy about the operation of a cooperative society. Now because what is happening here, the affairs, there are open meeting occurred where all the members are there, they used to discuss about the each and everything of the business of cooperative society. Now there is no secrecy, or it's very difficult to maintain secrecy after that. Next is excessive government control. Now this is the another drawback here, that government has excessive control in the cooperative society. It suffers from excessive rules and regulation of the government. It has to get its account audited by the auditor and has to submit a copy of its account to its registrar. It means because government is also giving certain facility to the cooperative society as a form of subsidy, as a form of taking less taxes from them, or as a form of lots of other facilities also. So just because of that, they have a full control or excessive control over the cooperative society. They have made it compulsory for the cooperative society to audit their account by the auditor and to submit the copy of their account to the registrar office. So this way the government is excessive controlling the cooperative society, which sometimes become disadvantage for the member of cooperative society. The next is differences of opinion. Now this drawback of cooperative society or disadvantage of cooperative society said that the member are from different section of society with different viewpoints. Sometime when some member become rich, the result is conflict. It basically say that internal conflict arise as a result of contrary viewpoints may lead to difficulties in decision making. Like we have already know that at least 10 members are required there. It's not possible that all the members have a same viewpoint about a particular decision or about a particular work. So sometime what happened, because these all members belong to a different section of the society, they all have their own viewpoints. So just because of this different viewpoints and different society or sections, sometime the conflict or the opinion of all the member does not match, and it become the reason for the conflict in the cooperative society. So children, this was all about what is cooperative society, what's our feature, and what are its advantage and disadvantage. Student, in the next video we will start the another topic of cooperative society, form of organization, and that will be types of cooperative society.